Macquarie is, as most people know, a writer, director, and that's always a kind of a unique situation when the person who's directing the film wrote the material, or was one of the writers of the material. And the good news is that he's very clear on what he likes and what he doesn't like in terms of dialogue and pacing, and he's very open to you giving him suggestions for things that fit into your mouth better or you think make more sense logically, but also knows when to say, no, this is what I want you to say. Say it as written, or I think we're already there. That clarity is something that I think I found usually comes with writers who direct. He's very vigilant. He comes to work every day. He's on the set every day. He's you know, got notes and he's got input about everything that's being done. Very hands-on. That's a place that you want to get to, because until you take ultimate responsibility for what's on screen and become a real producer, you can't afford to complain anymore about what's being done and what's not being done. And Tom has taken that responsibility. And I must say the results here since I've been here, it's wonderful because it's intense. We work. We keep the day as focused on the work. I mean, there's laughs and there's fun and there's camaraderie, but we get a lot done every day. My character, Alan Hunley, is the director of the CIA. The IMF is a kind of a little indie we have in the intelligence community, and I want them gone. I want them shut down. Renner is very much a very physically capable guy, and I like that. I like the challenge of that, because I like that the guy I'm up against is tough. Not just mentally tough, but physically tough. My character spends a lot of time leaning on Brad. My character spends a lot of time working on Brad to, in this kind of Melvillian way, where my character's going around going, where is Hunt? Where is Hunt? Where is Hunt? Get me Hunt, bring me Hunt. And I like that it's Renner, because Renner reminds me of like Richard Widmark. And he reminds me of Bill Holden, a guy who, he can be charming and he can throw it off in a certain way, but he's also very tough guy. All of these films have to have some palette in terms of the cast, especially a gang of men that are going to go and do some caper or some adventure or some mission, if you will. And to have someone who has even just a whiff of a sense of humor they can bring to the piece, even with a look or just a very small phrase or something. And Simon Pegg, he is that person that brings the kind of a wink and the kind of charm to the piece and the kind of irony to the piece that I think those pieces always need. Whenever you make a film, the script is the beginning of that process. You read the script and you get excited about who the cast is, especially if it's people you've really been, you've had your sights set on working with them. But when you show up to shoot and you start to shoot, you realize that the camera is the star of every film. And the camera is the element of the film which, if it doesn't get what it needs, we're going to go again until we do. And the man or woman or team of people, for that matter, who are responsible for that really are fundamentally the most important part of the whole thing. And when you see it, someone, and I've had the great pleasure, probably the most wonderful and most satisfying part of my whole career was the cinematographers I got to work with. I'm here with Elswit, who is, one of the greats. I mean, one of the greats. And made so many great films. Won the Oscar for There Will Be Blood. And shot those P.T. Anderson films, Magnolia with Tom and Boogie Nights. And you just really, it really kind of psychs you up. It really kind of makes you feel good when you know you're out there with someone like that. It's really thrilling. My dad would watch the show, and Mission Impossible would be on, and they'd be trapped in some chamber, and they were going to run out of oxygen, or the cyanide was going to go off, or some time-sensitive thing, and he'd look at his watch, Martin Landau or someone, and say, "We better hurry up, Jim, because we only have," and my father would say, "5 minutes," and Martin Landau would say, "5 minutes to live." I look at my dad, I go, how did you know that? I was like 7 years old, and my father would say, because there's only 5 minutes left in the show. This episode of the show is over in 5 minutes. I would be like, wow, it's interesting how you put all that together. The first movie I remember seeing with Tom where he changed on film. Like you would see Tom become, I don't want to say become a man, because it wasn't that he wasn't a man on film, but he becomes a different kind of man. He took those reins of being kind of cool, indifferent. You don't come to the audience comes to you. You know, you become a real action star. Well, there's an integrity to you, there's a depth to you, but you don't have to push too hard. You're just there. And he just shows up and everything's there. And that's where Tom is at in his career, you know. He shows up and everything is there on film.